Hey everybody, welcome to another episode here of the Scott Wyatt Podcast. We are trucking along here with the story as it's been going along. I believe this will be episode 28, and we are digging into the Night Roads EP. It was my first EP that I recorded. I went down to Nashville, and I talked about it in the last episode so you guys can see how that kind of worked out. So kind of what I wanted to start this one off with, other than kind of give you a quick update of what's been going on, I'm actually spent today all day in the recording studio. It's Saturday, February 23rd, and getting some new stuff knocked out. I'm really excited for it to come out, but we're nearing the finish line, and just got home, so I'm here to record this podcast, and I'm excited for it. One of the things that keeps me going, and they are not a sponsor of the show. I just like to shout it out because I love this stuff. Doing a quick video here for Instagram and just show you all right there. Four Sigmatic mushroom coffee mix. It's great. They even got my little snowman mug here. Cheers. Oh yeah. So early on, before I went to Nashville, I began to basically just research the city and the people in it, try to figure out the inner workings, and that's how I came across Dick McVeigh. And actually the first time I met him in person was recording this EP, and it was recorded in between two studios. One of them was a hip-hop studio. They were wanting to get into something more country-like, so I met up with the producer, and we talked about two songs I was going to do with him, or three songs, that's right. But just for this episode, we're going to be going over two songs, Night Roads and Dreaming the Girl. And I'm going to listen along, and you guys will hear it in the background. So if you're watching the video form of this, you won't be hearing the music of it. But just use your imagination with me, folks. But we're going to dive right on here to Night Roads. This song actually was originally going to be the next Midwest Avenue song for my old band before we broke up. Wrote it for that and liked the song so much that it worked its way onto this EP. It was initially not going to be I didn't anticipate it doing what it did for me in the beginning. It was definitely probably the first song that people had heard of Scott Wyatt. So yeah, we're going to fire it up here, and I am going to say one thing. Originally, the track did not have this awesome lead guitar track you hear on there that everybody that's heard the song knows. The whole lead guitar and the whole thing. A lot of people think it was me playing. It wasn't. It was the producer. It was about 2 nights after I was in there, he sent me some mix downs and was like, "What do you think about this?" And I was like, "Oh, it sounds great." It was just what I knew that we had recorded. And then he shot me another email. He goes, "Hey, I've been messing around. Check this out." And it was him playing this lead guitar track over the song. And I was like, that's gotta stay. So, yeah, you're going to hear him rocking on the guitar in the beginning of this. And I'm going to get it going here. Just kind of talk you through the song. One thing off the bat that kicks in my head is you hear a bass drum sound. Dun, dun, dun. That is actually not a bass drum. I had the wild idea whenever we got in there. I was like, is there any way that you can mic my foot? So again, this was all recorded live, aside from the tambourine part. So they put a microphone on the floor, on this, as low as the stand would go, right by my right foot, and we started playing. So that bass drum, that kick you hear, dunk, 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 the low thump, that is actually just me stomping on the floor while I'm playing, tapping my foot rather hard just to make sure it goes through. And at the time, the producer had just had a baby, and so in the studio he had a bunch of little kid instruments, and one of them was a tambourine. And while we were listening back to what I'd recorded, I was playing this little kid's tambourine while I was listening to the song Night Roads, and he's like, "You should put that on there," because there wasn't an actual tambourine in the studio. So that we used this little bitty toy tambourine. It was maybe about 2.5 inches diameter, and it worked out. We also used it on Manny the Drinking Man, which will be on tomorrow's episode.
got my hat down low.
And a lot of the arrangement of this song I had already written, and my dad had a couple ideas. The little break after the first chorus where it kind of stops for a second and comes back in, that was my dad's idea, and I'd still play it like that to this day, and that's how I recorded it, folks. Oh, another thing on the chorus, I'm gonna find a piece of little night roots, and it says do a little bit more of my thing. It worked then, hell, it'll work now. For some reason, even to this day when I sing it, instead of saying it worked then, it'll work. It worked then, it worked. See, I can't even say it right now. So anyway, they're supposed to say it worked then, it'll work now. But I always sing it. It'll work then, it'll work now. I don't know if that's the hillbilly me coming out or what, but that's just how that came to be. So. That lead guitar track is still the sweetest thing. I can't remember how I got this idea, other than I remember was playing, me and Steve Vincent, the guy that played fiddle with me for a long time, banjo and keys. We were playing in the backing band for Gracia Harrison. It was on The Voice season 3, and I remember one of her big songs that she played at every show was Lovesick Blues by Hank Williams. And so I remember that's what made me, a little bit of the Lovesick Blues. And then He Stopped Loving Her Today, to tip of the old hat to two of the greats, Hank Williams and George Jones. So yeah, that's a little bit about Night Roads. If you guys have any other questions about these songs or anything, or want to know something, shoot me a message, let me know. And so we'll keep on rolling. I'm getting our drink of this coffee here. Getting to talking fast now. This next song is my mother's favorite song of mine, probably still to this day. Now, this one was not recorded in the same studio that Night Roads, May the Drinking Man, and Me in This Bottle was. And you can tell the difference on my vocal track, because there's a little bit more of a reverb and just a different feel to Dreamin' the Girl in this time. And this was recorded with Dick McVeigh. Like I mentioned him in the last podcast where I was talking about the stage name and all that good stuff. So yeah, here is Dreamin' the Girl. Let's give her a listen. I haven't heard this one in a while. Oh yeah. I actually played this song even lower than what I ended up singing in, 2 keys lower. And it was Dick's idea to bump it up 2 steps. And it worked out.
While I'm out on the road, and you're home all alone, and talking's just talking.
Anybody that travels the road could probably relate to this song. This is a lot of my songs I write, personal stuff, or they all come from something. I mean, they may morph into something else, but you always draw ideas from your life and stuff. So it's pretty interesting to listen back to this. I haven't heard this in forever. And I believe I wrote this song while I was in Midwest Avenue still. Because the line, me and the boys raising hell all over Illinois, it was definitely about that. Are you making me choose another honky-tonk? Yeah, definitely talking about, just being a musician and out traveling the road and playing all these little honky-tonk joints and little bars, dive bars, and just trying to get one person to even pay attention, it's a grind, and it's not for everybody. I'd sacrifice this crazy dream. It ain't all it's cracked up to be, but I love it. Are you making me choose between the dream and the girl? That woman, she loves me more than the world. In this dream
that I've been chasing, all the hard work and the tears.
That to this day is still one of my favorite lines in the chorus, where it says, shoot, I'm already forgetting the words now. Oh yeah, all the hard work and the tears, empty bars and empty beers. I was listening to Granger Smith's podcast earlier in the week, and he was talking about, his start and stuff, and heck, first 10 years almost, or 5, whatever it was, playing for sometimes 12 people or less, and it's definitely the truth. If you listen back to the Midwest Avenue episodes, you'll hear me talk a lot about some of our shows where playing right in the middle of like a big city, and maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 people show up, but you still gotta go and do it because then people are there, even if they're there not to hear you. Gotta convert them. We got to know some great people through that.
All the hard work and the tears, empty bars and empty beers, I paid my dues. Are you making me choose?
All right, so that's Dreamin' the Girl. So we just went over Night Roads and Dreamin' the Girl. Next up, we're going to be breaking down so actually we got 4 more songs left to go on this EP, which is Manny the Drinking Man, Me in This Bottle, This Time, and On a Small Town. And On a Small Town, there's going to be an interesting story with that, because that was recorded in Illinois. The only song on there that was not recorded in Nashville. So, yeah. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you guys are having a great time wherever you're at and whatever you're doing.
I got my hat down low, smoke rolled high, finger in the air, waving goodbye. Bye, baby, bye, baby. Got my hat down low, smoke rolled high, finger in the air, waving goodbye. Throw some gravel in the air into the night sky.